It's really interesting how the pound is going to move in the first week of the year, and then how euro is going to move here. It's really interesting to see how all that thing's going to happen. So let's take a look at the monthly on EURJPY over here, and let's see what's going on the monthly. Now, first of all, what we can see on the monthly is what the hell is this over here? Yeah, I know what this is. All right, so on the monthly, first of all, what we can see is that obviously there's a resistance at 126,700, 126,800. Obviously, we see this resistance. We see December candle came up and rejected it, so there's no buying confirmation over here. Also, we see that we were in a downtrend and we're kind of come up to this strange resistance here. This was respected back in 2019 start of the year, and then again it was rejected August 2020, and now we're coming back up here again. So now let's see what's going on. So this is our support right here in the monthly time frame. Obviously, this is a very, very big range, so we'll need to see some sort of a candle breaking up so we can say that, okay, are we going to come out towards 129, or are we going to start ranging between 127,500 and 121,700? So let's take a look on the weekly here. Looking at the weekly is just ranging. So this is a range on the weekly, and it's really easy to spot. So now notice how we're going down to the weekly time frame, and I'm going to adjust this zone based on the weekly to make it much more cleaner, thinner, and easier to read, right? So weekly attempted to break up. This weekly, last week of December, attempted to break up, came back down, came back in the range. And this range is measured from this resistance all the way down to this kind of like support area here, 75 pips, it's pretty big. So, I mean, if you do break this low at 125,800 on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see it that, okay, price may come down towards, 125 even, which is like 80 pips away. And, we got clean candle through left hand side. So we might need some sort of confirmation on our daily time frame to continue down. But if we try to, okay, actually, let's take a look and actually, let's draw the zone here first. Let's draw this destination, because if price breaks above this area, obviously we can come up to fill this wick on the weekly time frame. And that's also a rejection back on March 2019 there as well. So yeah, this whole area is going to be our first target, and second target on the weekly could be around 129 up over here. For sells, I think a good target could be at 124,400, but also we can keep in mind 125 as well, because previously we had rejections. Now, if we had rejections previously, this doesn't mean that we're completely ignoring this because of this move up. We're keeping this in the back of our mind, because price may break down, see this there, and then decide, okay, well, we had rejection at 125 before, so let's just retrace and then continue down later on. Those things can happen, so we got to keep them in mind. Let's take a look at the daily over here. Now we have some more information. Daily is coming back in this garbage range. We were ranging for 3 weeks over here. Let's take a look at this, right? Yeah, 21 days, 3 weeks. And we broke up, and now we're coming back down, man. Daily is a mess. So first, what we can see on the daily is obviously the support, which is very apparent, sticking out like a sore thumb right here, 125,850. Very, very, very strong support. We thought it's going to continue up. It's coming back in the range. It is what it is. So let's take a look on the 4-hour here. Let's see what more information we can find. Now, looking at the 4-hour, the first thing we notice is this big thick zone which is overlapping these candles. Also this resistance which is kind of like away from these candles. So we want to bring this zone up a little bit, make it much more neater, and we want to make this top zone neater as well. So we're probably going to remove this area here, and we're going to draw a zone right over here relative to this price action here, right here, our resistance. And we're gonna probably gonna adjust this area here as well. Maybe bring it up here a little bit, zoom in, see this, and bring it up here, kind of like make it a little bit fatter as well. Let's just remove it all together and draw a new zone right over here. Perfect. This is what we got right now, right? So now notice how on the daily we've broken this down on the 4-hour time frame now. So the first thing we see is that price is coming down. Where is it coming down from? A resistance. So we look for a resistance. We move up, see rejection, perfect. We got resistance, we're coming down. Now we got to look for support. The only support I can see is down over here, which is like at 126. And then below 126, there's another support like 20 pips away. This is our major support. And we kind of want to make this support a little bit thinner here as well. Just like this right here. Make it a little bit thinner. Just like this right over here. All right. So since price is coming down, now we got to drop down to the 1 hour time frame and kind of like break it down on what's really happening. So first of all, if price is coming down, we need to identify that it's going to come down to a support. So we need to identify where that support is. Now, looking left, we can see that there was a wick rejection on 27th December. So maybe that's our rejection area. And if you measure that, that's around like 8 pips away, 9 pips away. So, and also like there's a lot of consolidation here to the left hand side, 13 pips away. So there's no reason to look for a trade at this point. I think looking at the 4 hour time frame, the only thing I can see is that price come either we wait for price to break below 125,850 or we wait for price to kind of like come up over here and create some sort of a resistance and then continue down. Now, there are a couple things we need to look at, right? Now, we've had like a long weekend here and we're coming up to the first week of January. I think we need to see that if there's going to be a gap, right? If let's say price gaps above, where price closed, let's say we gap at like 126,400, that gap would mean a possible retest or a possible retracement to maybe continue down. But it also needs to stay below 126,600 because 126,600 was a resistance creator. So if price comes up and if it creates some sort of a resistance, there's a very high probability we're going to continue down to retest this low, which it created when market closed on Thursday. And then yeah, we could see a continuation of move down. But if we gap above 126,600, then we're going to be in this consolidation area. Then it's going to be a better idea to wait for price to break above 127. Let's take a look at that on a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, it's a pretty decent consolidation area here. I mean, yes, a 20 pip range, but still, for the sake of simplicity in the charts. If we gap below where market closed, then obviously, we're going to be at support. Then we'll need to see if price is going to break below the support or not. I highly doubt there's going to be a huge gap, but if there is, it is what it is. It's Brexit. But if we gap below this area, then obviously we'll need to see for some sort of a retest for price to continue down or come back in the range and whatnot. But like ideally, I would want to see price to create maybe a resistance for price to continue down so you can have a better range to continue down, because with this candle moving down, we've created a clean range for if we do a retracement to come down, right? So let's see what happens in EURJPY, how the market opens, and yeah, we'll go from there.